This method will explode your creativity. If you're in a funk right now and you're trying to get more ideas on the table, regardless of your industry, this will work for you. The concept of the infinite canvas. That infinity sign is not my best handiwork, but that's the point. You don't need to be a graphics artist. You don't need to be any sort of designer. The infinite canvas concept will allow you to produce more. You can do it I started with a large brown sheet of paper that could cover a whole kitchen table. And what you do is you write out all your ideas, your funnels, all the areas that you're working on in your business right now. You write it out, and then you start to visually see how they're working together with each other. And you could even fill up your research with this. Before computers existed, you would have reports, textbooks, sticky notes. You would have all these physical paper assets on a table, which is technically your canvas that you're working off of. And you would reference different documents. We can do this digitally now with the power of Miro boards. When I was at the WAP office this fall in New York, there was a conference that Miro was putting on our rooftop. And there's some incredible tools that you can use for your business, for your team. But the simplest thing for 99% of people to take away is that with a Miro board, you can put things like YouTube videos, documents. And when I say document, like a blank sheet of paper that if you're using ChatGPT to do your research, maybe you're writing copy, you could, instead of having a bunch of tabs open, which is really freaking annoying, and having to cycle through all those different tabs with all the different documents for maybe this SOP or this script or this little to-do list, you have everything in one infinite canvas that, when I say infinite, it can expand into any direction that you want. You could, use ChatGPT to produce a flowchart for you, say a UX, UI design or a funnel design, and it give you that box with info leading to a different box that has additional info leading to additional box that has, you could have that and it lives in its own space on this infinite canvas. So you're aware of the funnel flow looks like, but you can also at the same time scroll over into the actual copy that goes onto that page. Maybe that's how you initially encountered a Miro board, is some website designer gave you a Miro board link and said, hey, this is how your website's going to look and all the intricate pieces. Great. But I like to use Miro boards for researching big projects. I want to link to somebody's LinkedIn account that's relevant to maybe bringing on a board of advisors. I want a Intro Co, which is a site that you can use to speak with successful founders and pay them an hourly fee to just get on the phone with them, or even a 15-minute call would be $100, and you're talking to co-founder of a $1 billion company. I have links there as it relates to certain subject matter, because I may not need to talk to them right now, but I know there's going to be a stage where I would need to talk to them. And so I put it here. And I'm going to have usually multiple documents that go over the different aspects of this business I'm building. So maybe I have a whole section for client success and everything related to client success, such as the tracker that my internal team uses is there. Maybe it is a client success SOP. But you see how I'm building all this, and it doesn't live in a folder ecosystem like in Google Drive, because conventionally that's where all this would live, a folder ecosystem. And sometimes multimedia files wouldn't load up correctly, and you have to go through these different folders and you have these tabs open. It's just so freaking annoying. I'd rather have it all in one place where I can actually see. And then maybe I want to have different logo designs too. But instead of keeping all my logos in again, a folder on my desktop, I have design 1, design 2, design 3. And if I want to, I can actually zoom in and create even more space. This is the key here. Because on this physical piece of paper, I can't really zoom in. I got to okay. And then I run out of space. And then eventually the markers it's too fat for me to actually make any information inside there. But if I wanted to, I could zoom into this logo area, and maybe I could expand on a logo concept. So say there's 1, 2, 3 logo concepts here. And now I go into logo number 1. Okay, I really like this concept. Let me add a couple more images here of what it would look like in a banner or as a favicon. And I start to populate it with even more information. I can easily do that. And so the creativity becomes unlocked whenever you prevent limits in your workspace. Okay. As we remove the limits to our creativity, well, what do you know? It flows. So I'm going to cover a few more things as it's relevant to this Miro board for you. You could keep a table with a Kanban board. Kanban just means, like Trello, where you have a to-do, doing, done, to-do, doing, done. You could build that in your Infinite Canvas. And if you want a physical brown sheet of paper, you could use sticky notes and then write down the big things that you got to do, doing, and done. Yes, you can organize this digitally, but sometimes if you're in a funk, you really got to add some tangibility to what you're doing, especially if you feel like you're losing purpose or zest, because your brain just isn't getting the same chemicals that it was getting previously. And you need to get a bit more dimensionalized with your work. Sometimes that means taking concepts, instead of putting them on paper and digital, making objects out of them. I saw one video, this guy, Taki Moore, is a great coach. He described the structure of a business person's content. He broke it down in a Lego piece and a Lego man piece. He had the head, he had the body, he had the legs, and he had a little object a sword that the Lego man carried. And he used these physical objects to describe the content. And that made for good content for him, but also helped him, again, conceptualize part of his genius model. Because every business has this genius model in which they operate in. And sometimes you need to, instead of just having a boring illustration of a concept or a ChatGPT list, it's so boring and mundane, you have to break out of the mold a bit and add some color, add some pixels, add some text. So this Infinite Canvas, what you can do immediately from this video is build your Miro board for whatever project that you are currently working on. And it may even seem redundant. You could have documents from other silos, a Notion board. You could have just a bunch of random information, just populate it on this Miro board, and you will start to see how this expands your creativity. And then maybe you even start to make videos with this Miro board, and these videos get traction. Like my buddy Ryan Klog, who was not ever interested in becoming a personal brand, now is one of the most sought after leaders in the info coaching space because he simply put how he's doing his business onto a Miro board, onto an Infinite Canvas, recorded it with Loom, and then put it out on YouTube. No frills, no high production value. He just took the time to throw down what he felt actually mattered in his business and think about these concepts, and then took it a step further and shared it with the world, shared it with the public. And he accomplished what he wanted to from that, which actually was not getting more clients. He did not want more clients from this specific initiative. He just wanted to connect with more talent and cool people that were peers to him in his space. So beyond just organizing your own thoughts and your own creativity around your business, you could turn this piece of art into something other people will appreciate. What do you know? And that could have just been totally unintentional, but somebody could pay for this piece of art, just like they can with any other thing. Maybe you remove some info that's too sensitive, but people, they see how you built the model. They want the model. Anywho, appreciate you watching this. And if you want my template for creating exceptional Infinite Canvas on a Miro board, go ahead and click the link below.